Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Amajal Knowles with your JCN News on this Thursday, March 29th. Good having you with us. Trade unions could soon have a response from the government regarding the Court of Appeals ruling making all trade agreements and contracts null and void. Minister of Labor Dion Folks telling our news team that the government is looking into it.
The Attorney General's office is currently studying the judgment, and we are waiting for the opinion of the Attorney General. It is sort of an urgent matter, so I think that they are giving it very top priority, but I cannot give you a date and time.
TUC President Obi Ferguson has stressed that depending on the government's response, the unions will determine whether to continue with its next course of action. That's taking the case all the way to the London-based Privy Council.
Because we don't know what the government position will be, and in order to protect the workers and the unions of this country, we had to do what we did to preserve the 21 days after the 28th. That is the purpose behind that. But as President Evans indicated, we are willing to do what we have to do to resolve it. We just cannot, under no circumstances, no rational, reasonable leader interested in protecting the workers that they represent can sit idle by and wait indefinitely. As long as there's an industrial agreement registered pursuant to Section 2 defines an industrial agreement. Section 46 to 51 defines once that agreement is registered and you go through those procedures, that's supposed to be binding. That was the law up to the 28th of February 2018. Well, certainly we had to file. We had no choice. If we didn't file within 21 days, I had to go and make an application directly to the Privy Council, which would take a longer period. So my point was to let's preserve it. If it's cured, fine. If it's not, we are protected.
If he feels that he has sufficient to make a formal complaint, that's his right.
It's that comment from National Security Minister Marvin Dames right there that PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell finds irresponsible and prejudicial, and so much so that he's calling for the minister to apologize and withdraw it. The minister's comments were in response to what Progressive Liberal Party Deputy Leader Chester Cooper said earlier this week. Mr. Cooper at the time said he felt compelled to report Prime Minister Dr. Minister's warning that he be careful to the police. This on the heels of the Exuma and Ragged Island MP calling for the PM to resign. Heading of the National Security Minister, Mr. Mitchell, in a statement said the PLP has in the past indicated its concern that Mr. Dames does not understand that as much as he wishes to be Commissioner of Police, that ship has sailed.
I don't know the full extent of his complaint or of his concerns, but what I would say is that, one of the things I try to do is, as a neophyte in this business, is to rise above the fray of political antics and movie cuts. It's nonsense. 3 juveniles have a lot of explaining to do. They have been taken into custody after police found a small quantity of dangerous drugs on a high school campus in central New Providence. Police have not revealed which school, however they have told us that the males were taken into custody. Police are also investigating an early morning shooting that's left a man wounded. We understand the victim was standing on the corner of Balfour Avenue and Washington Street after 3 a.m. when the gunman showed up and shot him before running off. At last report, that man was in stable condition in hospital. Meantime, another man's reported missing. From all reports, 2 men were diving in water surrounding Porter's Key Dock after 2 p.m. on Wednesday when one of them didn't surface. Police and concerned citizens searched the area but found nothing or no one. The matter is under active investigations. And we've reached our first break. More news when we return.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.